Hello everyone, welcome to another episode from Golf Cart Garage. I am Tim. I'm a small part of Golf Cart Garage. This is the Tim segment of Golf Cart Garage that we do every week, Tuesday and Thursday. We go live on YouTube and Facebook every Tuesday and Thursday. We talk about golf cart related issues and talk to some people in the live chat, answer a few questions, see if we can help some people out. I'm just a small part of a big part. Golf Cart Garage sells golf cart parts online. It's a golf cart parts seller. And then there's this Tim section, which is what we're doing now. There's a Dave section. I'm sure you've seen some of Dave's videos. And then I'm sure you've been to the website by now, golfcartgarage.com. All right. Well, we're going to talk about some stuff here today. We are going to, if you'd like to follow us on other platforms, you are welcome to. Let me run some social media links. You can follow us anywhere you would like. You can follow us on YouTube and Facebook like you're doing right now. And like and subscribe, give us a thumbs up. All that stuff helps. All the interaction that we have helps. All the people in the room, all of that helps. Helps to keep it going and helps everybody have a job. Gene Hansen, what's up, Gene? How you doing? Ricky Smith, hey Tim, what's up, Ricky? Kurt, ready to hear some GCG. Captain Jim, 55 North Carolina coast. Gary England, what's up, Gary England? Stephen Kuhn, good afternoon. Greetings from Barth, Florida. Jeffrey, hey Jeffrey, how's it going, man? I appreciate all you guys showing up. Let me check over here on Facebook, see what we got. See, we're rolling. We're rolling on Facebook, no problem. Doesn't look like at this point. Okay, 39 now. Yes, we had a little cold front. We got some close to freezing temperatures one night or two. And it's a little cool outside, but I've looked at the weather. It's about to warm back up here a little bit. So we're not winter yet here, that's for sure. We're still kind of in some fall temperatures, which I like. I like them. It's nice. Okay. We are going to go ahead and get started. This is Thursday, by the way. This is Thursday, November the 2nd. If you are watching us Thursday, November the 2nd at 12 noon Central Time, then you are watching us live. We are live right now, so anything could happen. Hey, you don't know. Last week, Batman showed up, so there ain't no telling what could happen. Stephen Kuhn, 62 here. Okay, let me make sure over here we're good. Let's see. GCG Man showed up last week. Wonder Woman and Dino Gator all showed up last week. I moved them, Kurt, I had moved my carts out of the way last week so Dino Gator and Wonder Woman could be right here. But I just haven't put them back yet. They're just over there. Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and get started with the regular questions. We got a few this week. Got some, had some glitches last week with one of the people involved, Iman, my man Iman, that helps me with this. He had some issues going on, so I didn't have any questions last week, but we got some now. We're back up and running like we're supposed to be. This is from Nick. I've been trying to watch all your videos and find the issue with my 2007 electric 48-volt club car that I have yet to find it. Any idea what would cause the solenoid to click when the pedal is depressed, but no motor activation? I checked all the fuses, checked the batteries and all connections, and have replaced the motor. I am at a loss. Any help would be appreciated. Okay, well generally, if your solenoid is good, it's clicking, so we know the solenoid is getting power. So let's assume the solenoid is good. If it's getting power and it's good, that means it's lighting up your controller. All right, your controller is powering up and your controller is sending signal to your motor, and you've already eliminated the motor. You put another motor in there. What's in between there? Your controller. Now, if your car has a run tow switch and it's that year club car, you could actually have a club car plug in their computer and read your fault codes and verify what I'm saying and see where they're pointing towards if your car has an onboard computer. Nate Medlin, what's up, Nate? Hey Tim, my EZGO 1990 Marathon has a new solenoid and pot box and very rarely won't move when you push the go pedal. I did rewire it this spring back to factory specs as factory Curtis controller. you've got a new solenoid and a new pot box. All right, Nate, when you replaced your pot box, did you also replace that micro switch? Because I have seen those intermittent. In fact, this is what I did, this is what has happened to me in my shop a few times with carts like that, with that electrical system. If I pushed on the pedal and it wouldn't go, but the solenoid clicked, the first thing I would do would be keep the pedal pushed a little bit and reach down there and grab that micro switch arm and flick it a few times and see if that car jumps out and tries to take off. I have seen that before. I'm not saying that is your problem. I'm just saying I would check that first before I went anywhere else. Mike Irwin, what's going on, Mike? Joe Foster, Dynamic should have won the costume contest. Who won? Oh, you talking about the one we had at Golf Cart Garage? I actually won. They had different categories, and there was only a few people involved, but I actually won for the most creative category. So my GCG man won for most creative. That we had the funniest, and that was a cool costume. We had the scariest, most creative, and let's see, there was a couple of more. Oh, best last minute idea. We had a team member dress up as that bottle of sriracha sauce. You know what I'm talking about? That red bottle that's on the table at all the restaurants with the green top. Well, she had Iram had a shirt on, sriracha shirt with a green hat on, and I thought that was really cool. I did show them Dino Gator, but apparently he didn't win because, well, I did for most creative, but it's probably because of Dino Gator too. Oh, that's what you meant to say when you said dynamic. If it was Dino Gator, yeah. Yeah, Dino Gator, boy, he just don't like his costume very much. He don't like wearing it very long. He can wear it a few minutes, but not for very long. That's why I had to have an assistant last week, because he would have been out of it. Bruce, 42 degrees, Westwood, Wisconsin. Easy Mike to you, I almost made it on time. All cables from batteries to controller and motor are factory. Well, I'd be messing with that micro if you didn't replace it. Or did you answer me? I wasn't looking. Okay, no. Rock Dog, what's going on, man? Golf cart. Let's see. Jeffrey said, I know you probably have to watch what you say on the air. What do you think about these golf carts from China? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you cannot say anything about them, Jeff. Now, I think I could honestly talk about that, Jeff. I don't see how that would be a problem. I talk to people, every day on the phone, and if I say something negative about it, it's only because of the feedback that I get from my customers. Now, myself personally, I do not have any Chinese golf cart like what you're talking about, like a, what is it, Icon, Star. There's all kinds of them out there, that are Chinese golf carts. Now, myself, I would probably never get one because I know how frustrating it can be if you can't find parts for a golf cart, but I have firsthand experience at that, how frustrating it is even when you don't have a China golf cart. So that would be my first question. I think I've said it on the air before. That would be my first question if I was thinking about buying one of those, because a lot of those dealers are popping up. They're popping up in my area. They're popping up all over the place. My first question, my only concern would be parts availability, service after the sale. That would be the main thing I wanted to know. And I hope that don't get me in trouble, Jeffrey. I don't think it will. John Shearer, what's up, John? 63 and sunny in Athens, Georgia. Rock Dog. Lloyd Lou, I'm watching via mobile. Cool. Who was that was watching while they were fishing? That was cool. I can't remember who it was. Somebody was watching while they were bass fishing. Kevin, what's up, Kevin? 59 here. Oh, shoot, I pushed the wrong button there. 59 here. 2 inches of snow on grass Tuesday night. Well, man, we ain't got that yet. Keith from Nashville will be in Palmetto, Florida next week for 5 months. Oh, that's right. You go back and forth there, don't you, Keith? That's cool, man. That is fun. That would be fun, and I hope to do that. Kevin Sale is 49 degrees. Okay, we're back over here on YouTube. We have a 1998 EZGO TXT 36-volt cart that dies without warning. You suggested a new charger, which we purchased. The cart still has the issue, though still showing 36.3 volts. Any other suggestions? Did I speak to you, Patrick, on chat here, or did I speak to you on the phone? Because 1998, you could have a DCS. Okay, does that 1998 have a run toe switch? And I've got a lot to say about DCS carts. Might not be good. Oh, I talked to you on phone. Okay. Did we determine it's a DCS? Because that would have been my first question when you told me it is not a DCS. Okay. Well, that means that it has a mechanical forward and reverse switch. So you've got that mechanical situation. Lots can go wrong there. No DCS. Okay, so you have a mechanical forward and reverse situation. You have a forward and reverse situation that goes like this and reverses copper contacts and all of that. All right, lots of stuff can happen in that area. So I probably told you to feel for heat in that area at the time of failure. Feel for heat on your controller at time of failure. Now I'm assuming that your battery issue is corrected, whatever battery issue, but you need to look for some heat at time of failure. That would be the two most common places. Jeff said he just took an hour off putting pistons back in an EZGO whole rebuild. Cool. Cool, Jeff. Patrick, oh, will do. Thanks. I'm getting messed up here. Where am I at? Okay, number 2 is regular questions. This is from Brian. I'm thinking about lifting my cart. Should I replace the front and rear leaf springs at the same time, or is the rear all I need? Well, Brian, I can tell you this. Most of the time, people just replace the rear. Now, but I have had some people that said, you know, I've had a lot of customers tell me this. A lot of customers are particular like me, and they'll look at their car from the rear, and they'll see that it's leaning to the driver's side a little bit, and they don't like that. And I don't like that either, so I want to fix that. There's a couple of ways you can fix that. You could turn your springs around, your rear springs. You could turn your springs around, and that would fix it a little bit. But I've had customers that have gone through the trouble of replacing their rear springs, and it did fix 90% of the lean, but there's still that extra 10%. Well, the only other thing that it could possibly be would be the front leaf springs. You've got to replace them too to get that extra 10% out, because they do get weak over time. But like I said, most of the time, rear is all you need to replace. Just depends on how particular you are, and check your car out after you finish. See if it's leaning to the driver's side still a little bit. If it is, it's your fronts. And if you want to fix it, you could replace your fronts. Jeffrey says, weekly job, nothing new. I'm putting that EZGO whole rebuild. Bet Patrick has a battery issue, one cell failing, Joe Foster says. Well, if I spoke to him on the phone, I'm sure that we talked about that. And he says I spoke to him on the phone, so I'm sure we got into that too. That's why he got a new charger, because I thought that he may have a battery issue, apparently. Patrick, if you would like to do some verification, you need to check your battery voltage at time of failure. That's where your low battery would show up. I know you got a new charger, but you could still have a battery that's just not, you know, that's getting ready to die. A battery, like I've said before, they never all go out at the same time, and your battery can still be showing normal voltage without a load being put on it. Okay, it can show 6-point-something volts if it's a 6-volt battery, and that's what it is in that car. It's going to be a 6-volt battery. It could show 6.2 volts, but in 10 minutes of driving, boom, that 6.2 could just drop out because one cell, like Joe Foster was saying there, one cell could drop out. Just can't handle the load for very long. So you could still have a battery issue. I don't remember exactly what the stats were on your battery, but I'm sure we talked about that. Ricky T.M. Patrick said 36.3. That's almost it. Yeah, that's true, Patrick. Where did you say that? Still showing 36 volts. Well, you're showing 36.3 at rest. That's pretty low. So it's very likely, and Joe Foster might be correct, you could possibly have a battery that's about to crap out on you. See, that's why I got you guys in the room, so y'all can keep me straight. But I like that. I like having other people's experience in the room. And plus I got a lot of buttons going on and I might not be on top of everything. All right, number 3 is from James. I have a 1997 Club Car DS. When I put it in gear, it's always full speed. The same issue for reverse. What could be the problem? 1997, you could have 𝗾𝘂𝗲𝘀, or you could have the other thing. I don't even know, multi-step potentiometer. It's not 𝗾𝘂𝗲 and it's not 𝗾𝘂𝗲. It's under the cart, and they only used it for a short period of time, but I think it did fall over into 1997. It was mainly in 1996s, but like I've said before, they never change everything on January 1st. So that type potentiometer did flow over into 1997, I believe. And if it did, it's very likely your issue. That's a 0 to 5 case setup. It could be shorted out and it's just wide open. That could be it. Or your 𝗾𝘂𝗲𝗀 could be burned up too. I'd check if it's 𝗾𝘂𝗲𝗀. If it's not that, if it's 𝗾𝘂𝗲𝗀, take the cover off of that 𝗾𝘂𝗲𝗀 and look in there and make sure there's nothing obvious going on there. Joe Foster speaking from experience. Yeah, I get it, Joe. We appreciate all experienced input and even non-experienced input. Because that's what we're here for, to try to help people, try to save them some money. I haven't said that in a while, that we're trying to save people money. Oh, and let's see, number 3. Let me go back to that question for a second here. I would have another question, James, on this. I would want to know if there's been any work done to the car recently. You know, has anybody done anything? Or did this just all of a sudden one day start happening? Or did this happen after a solenoid was changed? Or the pot box was changed? Or the 𝗾𝘂𝗲𝗀 was changed? Or something like that? I forgot to ask that. Number 4, this is from Ralph L. I'm putting a 6-inch lift kit on my Club Car DS. The rear springs have a stack of 3, spring, leaf, and a plate. Your videos show only 1 spring leaf being used. Should I unbolt and set and use only the 1 primary spring leaf that has the connection for the bolt on each end? I'm putting a 6-inch lift. That's actually up to you, Ralph. It depends on how much weight, you know, what's your application, you know, what are you going to be using your car for? Do you really need like a stack of 3? That's a pretty hefty stack. That would be enough to handle a lot of weight in the rear. That'd be enough to handle a 4-passenger kit with 2 big people on the back, or anything you need. A flatbed with a big deer in it, that'd be enough to handle all of that. So it just depends, but if you want it, you got to understand, when you do that, you're sacrificing your ride when it's empty. Like when you don't have anything big on the back, your ride's going to be pretty stiff. So keep that in mind. Just depends on what you need and what your application is going to be, would be what I would say. That stack of 3 is definitely a heavy duty setup. Number 5. This is from Rachel. I have a Club Car cart, and when trying to charge it, it will charge 2 to 3 minutes, then kick the breaker on the charger. It is very hard to plug in. I tried another charger and it charged for a few minutes. They got really hot. Any suggestions? All right, Rachel, if you're getting really hot really quickly like that, then you need to check out and make sure that everything is connected correctly first. All right, but it sounds like to me that it's very possible that you may have a really, really dead battery pack. So that can cause the charger to get hot, and it also can cause the charger to get so hot that the circuit breaker on the front of the charger will pop. So verify your batteries are connected correctly. Verify that you have across your whole pack, if we're talking about a 48 volt car, verify that you have at least 48 volts. Verify if it's a 36 volt car, verify that you have at least 36 volts across the whole pack. Plug your charger back in and put a fan on your charger. You may have to do this in several steps. If everything is wired correctly, you may have to put a fan on that charger, let it charge as long as it can, and if it pops, that's fine. Let everything cool down and do it again. You know, do it in another stage, in other words, if that battery pack is really dead, because that will cause that to happen. Rich Eastman, I can start the show now. Well, I appreciate it, Rich. D. Not so. Had similar problem as Patrick. Issue was a loose connection inside the wire on a connection cable from one of the batteries to another. There you go. Lots of things can cause that symptom, but one of the key issues that they pointed out, or that Ricky pointed out and Joe Foster pointed out, is that he's only showing 36.3. That's very, very close to a dead battery pack. 36.3. But yeah, loose cable, definitely. What happens with the loose cable, they start getting hot, all right? And then they get so hot that they'll lose the ability to pass amps. You know, they've gotten so hot that even if it's between two batteries, and they'll also, you know, can melt that lead post and just make the connection even looser. So it's an ongoing thing. So that's why I keep saying heat is your enemy. Feel for heat if you're having any problems in your golf cart. That's the first thing you should, in your electric golf cart. Captain Jim, Tim, my 13 CCP, precedent, is finally on the road again. Put a lithium battery in it, and now when you push the go pedal, it jumps and jerks until you get it wide open. Then fine. What controller do you have, Captain Jim? Jeffrey says, keep a keg of beer in the back when you do not have weight in it. A big keg, Jeffrey, yeah. Maybe even two, because if you had a 4-passenger kit, you got that step, you could probably fit 2. Big Mike, what's up? Captain Jim, if you've got that 𝗚𝗏𝘃 600 in there, I would get in there and mess with the settings and see if you could tone it down before I did anything, before I even jumped on the M core or anything. You got 𝗚𝗏𝘃 and a 400 amp solenoid. That's cool. You've got the solenoid that would be recommended. But I'd get in there on the settings on that controller. William Rizzo, what's going on, man? From the Villages in Florida. Glad to have you, William. Glad to see you back again. Let me get over here on Facebook for a second. Kevin Rabet, I would think that's how you said that, on Facebook. Newbie here with a new to me 73 Cushman Golfster. Cool. 36 volt. Want to modernize and get more speed and range. Changed old coil style controller to modular. Oh, question. What version? Lithium battery for power, weight reduction. See more. Let me see. Can I mix old and new tech? You absolutely can, except for the resistor stuff. And like you said right there, change the old coil style controller to modular. I think what you mean there is change the resistor setup to a solid state setup. You can absolutely do that. But this is what you basically have to do with a cart like that when you want to modernize it. You have to pick how new you want it to be. Like, how far do you want to go? Like 73, you got lots of years that you could pick from. Because what you're going to do is you're going to end up picking a golf cart. You're going to end up picking like a 2001 club car, and that's when they went to M-Core. But in your case, it's a Cushman Golfster, so it might be better to stick with EZGO, parts. But you're basically going to rip everything out down to 0, so you're starting from scratch. In your case, you could pick a EZGO Marathon, might be a really close one you could go to, because you might be able to utilize whatever potentiometer that you're using. You could upgrade just to an EZGO Marathon and stay 36 volts, and use the electrical system out of an EZGO Marathon. If you wanted to go further than that, then you're going to have to use, let's see, you could go to an EZGO PDS, but then you're going to have to figure out how to do ITS for your throttle input. So your throttle input on a 73 is probably just a wiper board with contacts on the outside, like it was in 73 on EZGO, and they're open to the air. So It just depends on how far you want to go, Kevin. You can, as far as mixing old tech with new, you can definitely do that. You can definitely go lithium if you wanted to. There's no doubt about it. A lot of people have done that. Now it's a heck of a project doing that, because some things may need modification to fit on your car. You may have to modify some things in order to get some things to work. But yeah, it's a doable project. David Irwin on YouTube. What's up, David Irwin? Hey, Tim, I have bypassed my governor on the rear end of my 2023. It runs perfect now. Did I do a bad thing? Oh, David. No, you didn't necessarily do a bad thing. Just be careful with how far you run it. If you bypass your governor and it runs fine, runs perfect, this is what I would do. If it runs perfect, now my question is, does it still run perfect at slow speed? Like, can you still crawl at a very slow pace? Can you still do that? Because that's what I mean when I say runs perfect, that it has better top end and you can still crawl on a gas car. Because a lot of times when you mess with the governor, you can't even crawl anymore. Like the first hit on the solenoid is like 5-10 miles an hour. You can't go real slow and creep around and look for the deer or the wild hog that you're trying to hunt. So that runs perfect to me. So if you can still do that, I wouldn't mess with anything, but be careful with leaving your foot on the floor for long periods of time. That's it. That's all I would do. I'd leave it where it is. Don't run it wide open for long periods of time. William Rizzo says, I canceled my street legal golf cart insurance, $1,000 yearly. Dang. Street legal insurance, it's only $20 a month. 1K is crazy. Yeah, that's pretty high. Okay, Nate, the new, I remember the question, Nate. The new pot box came with a new micro switch already on it, the PB6, PB5, I can't remember which one it is. But yeah, that's cool. But that's the first place I would go. If you still have an issue, got wiring that could be causing it. You could have, it could easily be brushes in the motor. You could have, brushes could be getting short after all this time. You might want to check that out. That's not very difficult to do. William Rizzo, registration was 46, and it will coast downhill. David Irwin. So if you got all that going on, David, what year was your cart? 2023. What's your top end now? Well, David, on that, what's your top speed now? I'll check on Facebook while you're looking at that. Lynn Scrapper, okay, good, you're still here. I was working on the golf cart trailer and lost track of time. Well, Lynn, you're supposed to get a notification if you're subscribed. That's how everybody knows to come, because I get the 4-minute timer shows up, but that should be giving you some type of notification. Or maybe you didn't have your phone with you or something. I don't know. I'm just letting you know. I'm with Erie Insurance, and my brother has Progressive, and his is cheap also. David Irwin, top end is 35. Dang. Well, I wouldn't. The only thing I would say is if it's running good, if it still can go slow, just keep off the 35 for long periods of time. Like just show somebody to go 35 and then back off a little bit. Back off to about 25, somewhere in there for, long trips or something. That's what I would do. State Farm, that makes me want to get one of them now, 2023, and do what you did. That's pretty cool. Because that's going to be fuel injection and everything. That's cool. State Farm quoted me $800 a year. Easy mic to use. Stephen Coon, mixing old and new. I have an 84 cart, my work cart, with a 92 controller and 99 motor. Yeah, you can definitely mix old and new. That's what I've said it before about my Yamaha G9. It's an 86. Yeah, 86 with an LED light bar on the front. That's a big contrast in technology too. Okay, check number 5 and see what's up there. Oh, nope, that's Rachel. Yep, that was the charger question, so now we're on number 6. This is from somebody named Anonymous. I have a 95 Yamaha G9 gas cart and was wondering if I should use a standard starter solenoid or a continuous duty solenoid. Please advise. On a Yamaha G2 or from G2 to G20, there is a recommended solenoid. I would always use the correct one. The correct one at Golf Cart Garage is SKU number. This is a number you can plug into the search bar at golfcartgarage.com. In the search bar, you can plug in 1161. All right, now that would be the correct solenoid. And if I'm understanding your question correctly, you're thinking about a starter solenoid or continuous duty. Well, that's going to be, obviously that's continuous duty. The solenoid stays closed, you know, all the time, if that's what you mean by continuous duty. But it's 1161. Always use the correct one, you know, in your golf cart. Number 7. They are at least so and so dollars in my area. This is from Johnny B. Will I need to upgrade the springs and torque drive too if I put a lift on my Yamaha Drive? Well, putting a lift is not going to change anything except your Yamaha Drive might be a little loosey-goosey, because what you did is you changed the leverage. Like you changed your leverage point by putting a lift. You raised it up. The shorter it is, the stiffer it's going to feel, like left and right lean, and then you raise it up on the same springs and it's going to be a little bit loosey-goosey, because Yamaha doesn't use leaf springs, they use coilovers. So it is possible that you will have to change your coilover springs to some heavy duty ones, just to get rid of that topsy-turvy kind of feel that some of those Yamahas have when people lift them. Now, what else did you ask me? Something else. Oh, torque drive. Now, you probably won't have to do anything with that, because if it's a gas car, and I'm assuming that we're talking about a gas car since you called it a torque drive, I'm assuming you're talking about some of your clutches or one of your clutches. You don't have to do that as much on a gas car when you put taller tires as you do on electric, because the clutches compensate for it on a gas car. They feel it. They feel that you're turning a taller tire. They feel that there's more restraint to get going, and they compensate for it a little bit. So it doesn't affect a gas car as much. It does affect it. It does affect them, but it doesn't affect them as much. So you don't have to at first, but you just drive your cart and see if you've lost a whole bunch of torque, which I doubt you'll even be able to tell. But you might, so drive it first. Number 9 is where we're at, I believe. Was that number 8? No, we're not that far. That was number 7. Yeah, we're on number 8. Let's close 7. This is from Hubert. I purchased a 98 Club Car DS 48 volt from a yard sale. I drove it a few times at the location and it didn't appear there were any issues, so I got it. Took it home, parked it, and about 2 hours later it didn't move. Well, I took it to the local repair shop, and about the second week they said the controller was bad. It was ordered, and about 2 weeks later they said it had to be rebuilt. So my question to you is, someone pulling my leg? I looked for a controller and some places had them in stock, but I'm not sure if it's the correct one. Hubert, I think would be how you would pronounce that. Well, it's very likely, Hubert, that they're telling you the truth. Like some shops, put it this way, they can send your controller off and have it rebuilt for cheaper than they can put a brand new controller in there. So they may just be trying to do you a favor and do it for cheaper. So it's very likely that they could be telling you the absolute truth. Now, you might be able to find a new controller somewhere else, but it's going to be more expensive than a rebuilt controller. So that's what they're trying to do. Or they're trying to get a rebuilt controller because it's cheap for them to have it rebuilt, and then they turn around and sell it to you for an inflated price. So do a little research like you're doing. You'll figure out what I'm saying. But they could be absolutely telling you the truth. William Rizzo, hey Tim, how long does the drive belt usually last on a Yamaha Quiet Tech? I wish Quan was in the room, because he's got one, and I would ask him if he's ever had to replace his drive belt yet, because he's got a Quiet Tech. But they last, I can tell you this, they last a long time. I would check it, like on a gas cart, especially a new one as new as a QuietTech, I would check, you know, the condition of the belt, maybe even take a picture, you know, at first, take a picture of it, and maybe even take a measurement of it, because they wear so evenly. Sometimes you look at it and you can't even tell. You look at a drive belt and you can't even tell that it's skinnier than it used to be, because the sheaves on the clutches are so smooth and the belt just wears just like that. You can't even tell it's skinnier. So you might want to take a measurement of it, you know, and take a picture of the measurement, or write the numbers down, and check it at the same time you do your oil, which I recommend changing your oil every year, you know, at least every year, in your oil filter and your air filter and your fuel filters. Very, very cheap to do that. You can do it yourself. Then you don't have to worry about that car for a whole nother year. You don't got to worry about anything. Just put gas in it. I mean, it's a good car. Gas golf carts are really cool, because that's what I said. A lot of people think that electric cars, you just plug in and that's it. That's all you got to worry about. You just plug it in and charge it and go. It's a little more complicated than that. Now, gas cars, you do have to put gas in it, but you literally put gas in it and go for an entire year, and you don't have to do anything. Then come back and do your maintenance and your oil change and everything. You're ready to go again. I mean, I kind of like that. I like electric too, of course, but Big Mike, my brother bought an Amazon charger and lost a lot of longevity and torque. It's a Club Car Preston, new batteries, some mods 15 amp. I have had customers tell me about that mods charger, that are using that mods charger. I have had customers that have had some problems with that. Mike, the thing that I would do is, and you're not going to like this. Can you see my discharge? Yeah, you can. You see that? Let's see. Put my finger on it. Right there. You see that piece of equipment right there? Right there. And right there is an EZGO charger. That's an EZGO PowerWise charger. Right there. But right next to it, that is a discharge tester. That's a very cool machine. It can give you a very accurate reading on how good your battery pack is as a whole. What they would do at a golf cart shop is they would make sure that your battery pack was fully charged, because they'd use one of their chargers. I guarantee you they wouldn't do it with your mods charger. They would take one of their regular chargers for that car and charge it up completely so they're confident it's fully charged. Then they run the discharge machine on it right there, and that will give you a very accurate reading of how good your battery pack is. Also, that would answer your question: is your mod charger really doing its job? Is it really charging the batteries up fully? Get them to check it after it's been on there for a while. Check the voltage across the battery pack. See if it's getting up to 60 volts or more. If this is a 48 volt car, because it should get up to about 60 volts toward the end of the charge cycle. Jeffrey, TTU next week. Just had a customer breakdown in this cold weather. Jeff. Jack Anderson. Thanks for helping me with my EZGO. It was the controller, unfortunately. Jack, did I talk to you on the phone or something? I'm sorry, it was the controller. You know, we always like it to be something else than that, you know, when you're having to foot the bill. But sometimes it is the controller. In fact, a lot of times it is. Honestly, a lot of times it's the controller. All right. What was number 9, or did I do that? What kind of cart, Big Mike? Tell me electrical system and brand of cart. Number 9 is from Sherman. I have a 92 EZGO with a twin cylinder Robin. I put a torque clutch on. And do you guys sell any other clutch parts, like the higher torque spring or a kit like that? I'm having problems with it pulling. I put the high torque clutch on it and it pulls, but it's very, very slow going up hills. I adjusted the valve, still the same. Sherman. All right. The only thing I found, Sherman, is I went and looked And the only thing that I found at Golf Cart Garage for your situation is that we do have a high torque driven clutch. Now the driven clutch is the one that's on the transaxle in the rear. The one that's on the side of the motor is the drive clutch. Well, we do have a high torque driven clutch, and that is part number on at golfcartgarage.com. In the search bar, you can plug in part number CP-0032. CP-0032. That'll bring you straight to that clutch that I'm talking about. That's all I found at Golf Cart Garage. And we may have something else, but that's all I could find in a short period of time. All right, we are on Precedent 48. What year, Mike? Because that makes a difference too. William Rizzo is 48 this morning. It's 77 now. Dang. Yeah. Aren't those temperature swings amazing? I think that's funny. Yeah, those 2011. Okay, so he does have an onboard computer. So the only thing he needs to consider is when he's buying a charger, he has to make sure that it is a onboard computer controlled charger. You know, and that would be a charger designed for a club cart newer than 2014. That's the only thing that he needs to make sure of. We have several on our site. Any of those that we have that say for the Precedent would be good. I hardly ever have a tech call on any of our big, heavy transformer type chargers. We sell so many Summit 2s that obviously I do get tech calls on Lester Summit 2s, but he could also use a Lester Summit 2. That would be one of our most popular ones. And he could get it in the to where it just hooked to his batteries, and he carried it around in his golf cart. He could use it as an onboard charger, in other words, or he could get it with the plug and plug it in just like he normally does, but he's going to have to bypass his onboard computer if he does that. He's going to have to electrically bypass it with a bypass kit. So it just depends on how complicated he wants to make it. But we have chargers also that just plug in. You don't have to worry about none of that stuff. You know, so any of our customer service representatives that we have at Golf Cart Garage, they're all very, very knowledgeable. They'll be able to work it out, to help him out if he'd like to order one. Number 10, this is from Barry. Hey Tim, hope you can help. All right, I recently bought a used 2014 EZGO golf cart. Once I got it home, I realized it had a problem. Go figure. Yeah, well, that happens. Sorry about your luck there, Barry. Sometimes when I switch the key from off to reverse or forward, nothing happens. I have to turn it back to off and switch it back and forth, and it will catch and go into reverse or forward. I'm assuming that maybe there's a short or something. What I need to do to fix this issue and make sure the switch works every time. Well, you didn't tell me what kind of car you have, but I have a suspicion that we're talking about an EZGO RXV, because they have the switch for the key for forward and reverse. Okay. The first thing I would do, I can talk about the most common problems that RXVs have, but the first thing I would do would be, if you're doing that switch thing, if you're confident that that is changing things, then I'd check the continuity of that switch. You know, just take that switch out or take all the wires off of it, flick it back and forth and see if you've got an intermittent contact issue there in that switch. If you don't, it's probably one of the common problems of RXVs, which would be solenoid. It's probably that. That was number 10. That was the last question. You run these social media links again. There we go. You can follow us on these other platforms if you would like, or you can follow us on YouTube and Facebook. Come here every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 noon Central Time. There's the social media links. All right. If you would like to make a suggestion about products or anything that we need to carry at Golf Cart Garage, or any changes that we need to make, you are welcome to send them to this contact info. You're welcome to send them to support@golfcartgarage.com, or this phone number you can call. You can type it in the chat here, because these are recorded, as you know, and we will see it. So there you go. That's the contact information for Golf Cart Garage. You can also contact me directly if you would like at 00timfreeman.com, Tim Freeman at Gmail, sorry. 00timfreeman@gmail.com. Yeah, we're almost to BAM, Kurt, almost. Well, actually, we're fixing to do it right now, because if you want to buy a hat, if you want to buy a Golf Cart Garage hat, you are welcome to. So you are ready? Bam! There they are. You got some links in the description that will take you straight to them if you'd like to buy a hat from Golf Cart Garage. If you would like to wait, because we do giveaway hats here at Golf Cart Garage. We probably have a giveaway coming up pretty soon, but I'll let you know an episode in advance so you'll know. But we're going to have a giveaway coming up pretty soon for another hat. I'll tell you what, let's do this first. Another BAM. Bam! Get 5% off anything you order at golfcartgarage.com if you use coupon code TIM15. That is TIM15. This code expires on November 10th, 2023. And you get 5% off any parts you order at golfcartgarage.com. So use that coupon code. Oh, and by the way, we see when you use that coupon code, and they share it with the company, so they know that it comes from here. They know that it came from the Tim segment of Golf Cart Garage. So I like to see it when people use that coupon code. Okay, guess what it's time for? It is time for, I got interrupted there. 𝗟𝗂𝗃𝗲𝗀 2017 EZGO TXT Rough Riding 3-leaf rear springs. Would it help to try 2-leaf? Sure, because stock TXT was 2-leaf for many years. It was 2-leaf. So if you got 3 on there, for some reason you got heavy-duty springs on there. So sure, go to 2, see what that does, because that's really all you can do to even out and smooth out that suspension. Thanks for helping me. Yes, it was. Okay. Jack Anderson on Facebook, if I put 10-inch tires on the rear and keep the 8-inch on the front on my EZGO, any issues arise? I think you mean 10-inch rims there, Jack. 8-inch rims are stock. 10-inch rims are not stock on the regular golf cars. So yeah, I think you mean 8-inch rims, because the tire is actually 18. It's 18 inches tall. So, but no, there's not any issue with the rims. The issue could come in with the height of the tire. And like I said, 18 inches is the stock height. So what are you talking about there? The rims is not really the big deal. It's the height of the tire. Because you can get 10-inch which still have 18s. That's what I have on my race cars. I got 10-inch rims, but the tire height's still the same as stock. Jimmy Stokely on Facebook. What's up, Jimmy? Hi from East Tennessee, sunny and 43. Cool. Thanks for stopping by, Jimmy. Captain Jim, thanks for nothing. We got a little bit more, Captain, but thank you, though. Late, been here working on a cart, Greg Elliott. Cool. All right, here we go on Let's See. Y'all ready? Let's see some carts. Today's cart is from, I don't know if he's in the room or not. He sent me an email and gave me a picture of his ride. His name is Vince. I don't think he said very much in the chat before, but he did say he's always, or he watches a lot. He wanted me to show it last week, or last episode, but last episode we had some problems, and I didn't have any questions because we had some technical difficulties. But I couldn't show it last Tuesday, so I'm showing it today. So anyway, yeah, if y'all want your cart to be featured, send it to me or send it to support@golfcartgarage.com. Here is Vince's cart. This is Vince's cart. Ready? Bam. Hey Tim, love this. This is what his email said. Hey Tim, love the show. You were the man. Here's my ride on his first outing, Vince. Nice looking club car precedent. Got him a nice LED bar there. Got some blacked out rims. Got some cool tires and some comfortable seats. What a nice ride. That is Vince's ride. Thank you for sending that in, Vince. That's a cool cart. Got a black roof on it. Kevin Fry says rockin' cart. Yep. Golf carts are cool. Even if you don't play golf, they're still cool. I think they're a very valuable tool And a lot of people don't understand that. You can find so many things to do. Oh, that's you, Fish? I didn't know it was you. I didn't know that was you. That's Fish's cart. I didn't know that was you, man. I mean, that's way too many names for me to keep up with when y'all have 2 or 3 different names, you know, when you're sending me emails and stuff. But no, that's fine. I kept it. I mean, I didn't show it last week, but no, I'm glad it was yours, and I'm glad you're here. And I'll show it again. That's Fish's cart, y'all. I didn't realize that, because the email you sent me just said Vince. You never told me that you were Fish. I don't think, at least, or I would have made the connection. But Vinny the Fish, yeah. I know you better as Fish than I do Vince. So anyway, I'm glad you were here. I'm glad you got to see it, man. I don't like to have to show people when the carts when they're not in the room. I like them to see that I did it. William said, did you get it? Yes, I actually featured that, William. I don't guess you were here that day. The hot rod that you sent in, it had a blower scoop and zooming head. Yeah, do y'all remember that? I mean, tell William that I did. It was a cart that he took a picture of in a parking lot in Florida, in the Village, and it looked like the Monsters cart, had a blower or a fake blower and stuff and pipes coming out. I did feature that. I said it was just a cart that William Rizzo took a picture of in a parking lot. I don't have it in this software anymore. I usually delete them. I don't know how many pictures I can hold. But yeah, y'all send me pictures of something you want to feature. 00timfreeman@gmail, and you might feature your cart. All right, that looks like that it's going to be all. Kurt, he was in the Villages where he took that picture, and I would imagine there's all kinds of crazy carts there. Yeah, I did feature it, William. If you missed one, it's going to be that one. I was thinking of changing the color of the cart, but after seeing Vince's, I think I'll keep the stock color, is what Rich Eastman says. Yeah, that's when you set it up right. Color's not really the important thing to me. It's just if it's set up right. All right, I think that's going to be it. We showed social media, we showed hats, we showed the coupon, we showed the contact info, we showed the let's see for Vince's cart, aka Fish. So now we know Fish Breath's name. And we're going to be out of here. Today is Thursday, and we will be back Tuesday with some more golf cart stuff, I'm sure. And we will see everybody then. I appreciate everybody for showing up. Everybody in the chat, I really appreciate y'all showing up and staying for a few minutes or ever how long you can. We're running pretty long today, but that's all right. Let me check Facebook one more time, make sure. Yeah, we're cool over there. We're cool on Facebook. All right. Say thanks, Tim. It is time now to say thanks. Hey, Captain Jim, appreciate that, man. Joe, thank you, sir. Fish, you have a great weekend too. I'll see everybody on Tuesday. Thank you, Rock Dog. I'll see everybody on Tuesday. Garage is now closed.